Over the 30 years that I've been championing and developing flexible ways of working, I've also been a staunch champion of equality, diversity, inclusion, and fairness. The acronyms may have changed over the years, but the core principles remain the same. It's about valuing difference, levelling playing fields in recruitment, opening up opportunities on an equal basis, removing barriers, enabling progression on merit and without preset assumptions, stereotyping or bias, and that's for everyone, regardless of gender, age or stage of life, disability, neurodiversity or sexual orientation. I've seen how flexible working and a mindset for flexibility as normal are fantastic enablers for achieving these aims. And I've also seen tremendous progress in the design and implementation of inclusive workplaces. That's about more than making adjustments for individual needs. It's about designing workplaces that offer sufficient variety and controllability to provide conducive work settings for everyone. As a judge for more than a decade on a Top Employers Award, I've seen tremendous progress in this area. It's at the centre of trends to making work more humane. Yet we've seen an intensifying campaign from some right-wing commentators and politicians against the DEI industry, characterising as left-wing, woke, intolerant and overblown. There are calls to scrap all DEI initiatives and to sack all the personnel involved. It often goes hand in hand with return to the office initiatives. It's portrayed as something imposed by a narrow-minded coterie of ideologues, activists and academics, and is habitually linked in the right-wing narrative with critical race theory, being woke and the campaigns for decolonisation. But these are caricatures, and advocates of diversity and inclusion need to fight back against them. While critics see DEI as something being foisted on organisations by the left or some kind of liberal elite, I see it entirely differently. I see it as part of a wider social movement which I call the democratisation of aspiration. Think back to how things used to be just a few decades ago, when women were expected not to work after marriage, when people with disabilities were written off from any prospect of finding meaningful work, when ethnic minorities were routinely discriminated against, when it's impossible to be openly gay at work. What has happened over the past 40 years, too slowly for sure, is that society has accepted the legitimate right of all people to aspire not only to work, but to be able to succeed at work. We cannot let the achievements over the years be eroded by those who wish to turn the clock back, and for sure there is still more to do. To do this, we need to focus on practical measures that make a difference and spell out the real-life benefits as they are achieved, both for individuals and for businesses. So those of us who care passionately about this need to be robust about having the courage to stand up for diversity, equality and inclusion, and ensure that the gains are not lost, and that we retain the capacity to keep on moving forward in this vital area for work and workplace. It's time to lash back against the DEI backlash.